Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. If you're looking for jewelry that makes an impact on your self-care routine and your style, Empowerography would love to offer you a discount code to one of our exclusive partners, Quartz & Canary Jewelry and Wellness Company. Please use code EMPOWER15 to receive 15% off upon checkout at www.quartzandcanary.com. Quartz & Canary is truly the place where spirituality meets style. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Micayla Doria. She is the CEO and founder of Celebrate Toronto. How are you doing today, Micayla? Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Thank you for agreeing to be part of the Empowerography community and be on the podcast today and share a bit about your story and your journey today. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Micayla, you are an accomplished artist, a graphic designer, an event planner, a photographer, and a CEO. That's quite the extensive resume you have there. As an artist, which medium do you work with most?
A little bit of everything, but
okay.
I was doing painting. So I was doing acrylics, mixed medium, oil painting, and whatnot. And then I went into photography, and then I went into web design and graphics. Yeah, and I went every which way.
So how long have you been involved in the art world, and do you have formal training in the arts?
I do, yes. So I've been an artist for, oh my God, I'm showing my age, but like 15 to 20 years now.
Okay.
15 years, I'll go right in the middle there. And I went to OCAD University. So,
okay.
Yeah, right out of high school, I jumped right into OCAD when I was about 17 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there for about 6 years and studied everything, basically everything they offered. I studied.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you artistic as a child? Like, does artistic ability run in your family?
Yes. So my mom is super, super, super artistic, and she raised the kids to be. We were always doing arts and crafts as a family, like painting our clothes, doing needle points, like introducing us to the greatest music ever. Like, we were very involved with, arts and crafts and music growing up.
What excites or inspires you the most about being an artist?
That art is limitless. You know, you when you immerse yourself into the arts, you can start translating a lot of what you see every day into it. You know, like I used to paint and then write, and then I learned how to play instruments, and art, quote unquote, becomes interchangeable. You're always learning and developing and become inspired by that growth. Very
cool. What instruments do you play?
I pretended to know how to play the violin. I never took a lesson. I bought a violin because it was purple, and I thought it was the coolest thing. I thought I was Prince. You know, he had this beautiful purple guitar. I'm like, I can do that. So I bought an electric purple violin.
Wow.
And I tried to teach myself how to play, and then I bought a guitar, and then I bought a ukulele. And so far, I can say I can play the ukulele. The other two, I don't know yet. But it's fun to pretend that you know what you're doing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Pick it up and bang on it and figure it out.
How far into your journey as an artist did you decide that, hey, you know what, I want to make a go at this and try and make a living at this and turn it into a business?
It was kind of right away. Like, at my first year at OCAD University, I was always posting, paintings and stuff that I was making on Facebook, and I made my own website. And luckily, a lot of my friends and friends of friends were kind of interested in what I was doing. I was kind of like the only artsy person in the group. So, my friends kind of started commissioning me to paint pictures for them or for their homes or as Christmas gifts. So I started generating income almost immediately. Yeah. And I thought, okay, well, I could probably do this. This seems like fun. I get to do what I love.
Yeah. And get paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. And then when I graduated OCAD, I was hired by a company to do exactly that. I would go to commercial buildings and paint great big murals.
Oh,
And
awesome.
yeah, it was a great gig, and I had so much fun. And then that snowballed. I would paint a mural for one business, and then across the street would be like, "Hey, come here and do mine." And we just
Wow.
going and going. So
How
yeah,
long did you paint murals for?
about 2.5 years. And then
Really?
I kind of took a break because I had gallery representation. So I always had to have enough artwork to create to give to the gallery to sell.
Yeah.
So, I did that.
Very cool. What gallery were you represented with?
It was called Norman Felix Gallery.
Oh, I remember Norman Felix. I had stuff there too. I was represented by them as well.
There you go. And then they moved around a little bit, and
Yep.
I eventually just kind of, went a different way. I started focusing on other things. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you remember what your very first piece of art was that you sold as an artist? If so, what was it?
Yeah, it was an abstract portrait. It was, I can't really describe it. It was of a lady, but she was very abstract looking. And it was one of the first paintings I did at OCAD. And I did it, and one of my sister's friends actually purchased it. And yeah, it's my
Very
first.
cool.
Yeah.
Did you find it tough as an artist to make the transition to being an entrepreneur as well? I mean, to also worry about running a business, as I know that a lot of artists prefer not to deal with the business side of shit. They just want to create stuff and focus on their art. So how was that transition for you?
It wasn't, I know exactly what you mean. It's either you have this artsy brain or a business brain, and it was both of them. But luckily I grew up in a household where my mom was super, super artistic, as I said, and my dad was entrepreneurial. He's like a restaurant, a family restaurant. So I learned both sides of the shtick. One side of the other side was business and math, and it was fun. Like during the days I would be with my mom making art, and then at nighttime my dad would come home from work and test me on my math skills. That was how I was raised. So I had both sides of my brain kind of operating.
Firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. So it's because of them I'm able to kind of do both. Lucky.
Okay. Now, you organized an event or gala here in Toronto in honor of Toronto's 180th anniversary back in 2014, which you received an award for from the Deputy Mayor of Toronto. What was that experience like for you, receiving that award and having that kind of recognition? It
was really, 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 it was unbelievable at the time for me, because it was my first year. To be honest with you, I didn't really know what I was doing. I thought this was just a great idea, and I went for it both feet in. Like, I'm going to host an event. I'm going to do a gallery show. I'm going to throw a big, huge party because the city needs it, and this would be a lot of fun. And I did not think in a million years that the deputy mayor and all these counselors were going to show up, that they had this scroll written for me, that all the media was showing up, and it was overwhelming that, like, CP24 is in one corner, Toronto Stars in another, and the deputy mayor's there, and I was just throwing a big party. I didn't know what that was going to happen.
I just want to have fun and show some art.
Yeah, that was honestly where my head was at. And I mean, I was so happy that happened, because it made me think, wow, I have something here. Like the city sees the value in what I'm doing, in the vision that I have, even though the vision is small right now, it's what it could be. So that kind of led me to further develop my little baby.
Now, had you done any event plan? I mean, I know that you have event planning experience, but was this your first big event that you've ever planned?
By myself, yes.
Yeah.
But previous to that, I was always volunteering for other events and galas and participating more. I would run gallery shows, but they were just, small gallery shows, ticketed event with, food and musicians and stage and dancing and, 1,000 other things attached to it.
Yeah.
With my volunteerism, I was able to see how those events run and what it takes. And I just said, yeah, do this. And so I did it.
So what inspired you to organize the gala in honor of the city of Toronto's anniversary?
Well, at that time, I was doing a lot of gallery shows. Like every single weekend, I had a different show in Toronto at a different space. Like I was doing a lot of planning. And I just thought to myself, I want to do something bigger, a larger scale. I'm like, everything is kind of overplayed. You have all your Halloween parties, your Christmas parties, New Year's parties. Like, I didn't want something like that. I wanted something unique for the city. And I'm a little bit of a nerd. I am. I'm a history nerd. I like a big time nerd. Like, I would go to the archives and look at old photos of Toronto. Like, I was just a nerd. I knew about the history of Toronto. I knew it was going to be turning 180 that following year. And I thought 180 is a pretty sexy number. And he's doing anything about this? Like, come on, So that's all it was. I kind of did a little bit of my homework, found out how old the city was turning, and thought this would be a unique and fun thing to do.
Very cool. Yeah. Now, the gala that you organized led to you developing or forming your nonprofit organization called Celebrate Toronto. How did that all come to be, and when was that formed?
So it was the very following year. So in September 2013 is when I had the idea to throw a party for the city when it was turning 80. And that party happened in March of 2014. Then that November, so November of 2014, I developed it into a nonprofit. So it was within 1 year. I went from start of an idea to almost basically a test run of the idea. Where everybody came out to full blown nonprofit organization. And
amazing.
I dove in and just went.
No grass grows under your feet. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, and if it does, I'll pluck it out and get rid of it. Plant flowers instead.
That's amazing, but that's incredible to have that kind of drive. And when you have a vision, just, you know what, fuck it, I'm going full on 100%. I'm going to make this happen. It's amazing. And it's refreshing to hear that people are doing things like that and want to make shit happen and want to do things like that.
Yeah. Well, the only way things are going to happen is if you just straight out do it,
and figure it out as you go. Fuck it.
Yeah, 100%. And there'll be bumps in the road, and there's been.
Of course. Can you tell us a bit about your organization and what you do and what the mission or goal of Celebrate Toronto is?
Yeah, so every year, the first week of March, usually the first weekend of March, we honor the city's anniversary every year. So we went from 180, we're now at 186. And it's now grown into a festival. We don't do it indoors anymore. We used to host at Steam Whistle, but it grew to an inclusive festival. We host at Nathan Phillips Square now. And every year we work with over 100 vendors, about 50 artists, like performing artists and visual artists. And we just celebrate the city, as simple as that. We invite everybody to come and learn things about the city, get involved. We donate to different charities every year. And then throughout the year, we're working on more programming. So for a couple of years, we were doing photo walks. We partnered with other companies, and we would do photo walks around the city and gather a bunch of photographers and take beautiful scenic pictures of the city and, run photo contests throughout the year and little pop-up and pop-up markets. So Celebrate Toronto's become a platform for entrepreneurs and vendors and small businesses and artists to be seen and connect with their community.
Amazing. So how far ahead are you planning the event that happens in March? Like, how much planning goes into that, and when do you start that?
I should start a year ahead of time. I'm looking down at my hands like I should have work on it a lot early in the year so I don't go crazy at the end of the year. But I start usually working on it September, October.
Okay.
And it happens that following March.
Very cool. Now, how many people do you have working for the organization helping you organize the event?
I have 12 committee members / volunteers that come for the festival, and they're the machines behind the festival. They're doing, they're organizing the bar, they're organizing the vendors. They make the festival work. And I am blessed to have this committee a part of Celebrate Toronto. Awesome.
Now, obviously, you're very involved in community and volunteer work, as you mentioned. What is it about this type of work that inspires you to continue to do it? And what other organizations have you done work with?
I volunteer with a lot of organizations. So I was a part of the communications development with CAMH Engage for a few years. Woofapalooza, community festival out in Vaughan, Vaughan Film Festival, After Breast Cancer, Futurebuild, Culture Days. I volunteer for a lot of organizations. I do it because I like working with the community. I like meeting new people. It's a lot of fun. It's all for good causes. You meet great people, like-minded individuals. And I don't know, it's a learning experience. Why not? If you have the time, I think everybody should kind of volunteer for something they're interested in because you learn a lot from it.
For sure. Now, you mentioned Futurebuild. Through your community and volunteer work, you've also been involved with Futurebuild and the Futurebuild project, and had an active hands-on role in projects such as in Tanzania, Africa. Can you tell us about your work with Futurebuild and the work you did in Tanzania?
Yeah, so that was a life-changing experience, that one specifically. So we, about, I think 12 or 14 of us, flew out to Tanzania, and we lived in the middle of nowhere, like rural, intense, rebuilding a school, an elementary school for young kids out there. And that was a job, basically rebuilding a school. We're laying down, foundation and concrete, painting, like everything that it takes to rebuild something. And you're doing it with nothing. Like, there's no modern technology out there. Like, you're collecting water from a well.
Yeah.
You're, mixing things by hand. Like, there's no electricity. I mean, it was an experience that you're roughing it. And it was amazing because you step out of your comfort zone and you realize, majority of the world doesn't have the luxuries that we do, if it's water or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was something that put a lot of your life into perspective. It was absolutely
sure.
So
how long were you there for?
I was there for a month and a half about.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did the whole opportunity come about for you?
Completely randomly. So an old friend of mine that I hadn't spoken to in years just called me up, and at first I did not even know who the number was. I answered the phone, and it was an old girlfriend of mine. Her name was Vanessa, and she's like, "Oh, I found this opportunity. This is what it's about. Would you be interested in doing something like this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, 110%. Send me the
Not
link."
even a second thought, just right away. Yep.
I didn't even think. It was a 10-second phone call. Like, yep, that sounds good. Send me the link. She text messaged me the link. I signed up then and there on the spot. And 3 months later, I was in Tanzania.
Wow.
Yeah. That was
Again,
it.
No grass grows under Micayla's feet. That's it.
I just went with it. I maybe I'm too much of a yes person. Jesus, I don't know.
I just think it's incredibly driven. I think because the things you're doing are amazingly inspiring projects and work. So I don't think that's about being a yes person. I think that's just about following your heart and doing good and helping. I think it's amazing. Just the fact that there's no hesitate. Yep, I'm there. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Just like the Celebrate Toronto gig. Yep, I'm going to throw together this party.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, you're kind of pointing that out. Maybe, I am a bit of a...
You're just a doer. That's it. I love it. It's amazing, though. It's good. I mean, we need more people like that doing things like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope, this podcast can, inspire.
I'm sure it will.
No,
your story is very inspiring. What is your 5-year plan for Celebrate Toronto? What's your goal for the organization?
I'm just going to keep expanding it. So right now, as I said, we're at Nathan Phillips Square, where it's a 2-day event, Saturday, Sunday, and it's great. Last year was huge, and I feel that it would be great if I could go across the whole city, sort of like how Nuit Blanche has different stations across the city, and they expanded out to Scarborough, which was great. I want to be able to do the same thing somehow where, not everybody has to come to one spot, that if you're in Scarborough, you can enjoy something out there. If you're in West End, North, South, that there'll be different hubs where you can experience something.
Yeah. Was last year your biggest year to date?
Biggest year to date. It was phenomenal. And I mean, I got in right under the wire too, because COVID had actually the following week where everything shut down. So Celebrate Toronto was actually the last festival in Toronto.
Wow. And so what's happening for this coming year then? Is it, I mean, it would be very hard to plan anything with everything that's currently going on. Or are you still in the planning phases for 2021, like going ahead, like, yes, this is going to happen?
Well, I'm still in the planning stage because I'm not going to lie, it likely won't happen.
Right.
It's too soon to say. I mean, I can't, you can't, there's a lot of rules. You can't just get a city permit to throw an event without
right.
the city has to approve.
Yeah, of course.
There's none of that happening right now. So if it were to magically be able to happen in March, which I don't think it's going to go that way, I'm preparing for that. I have my aligned. It'll be, right on the wire, but I mean, I work good under pressure. So if it happens, it happens. If not, if we have to push it, if it's going to be online, I also developed a plan for it to be an online event. So
okay, very cool.
But I'm going to roll with it.
Excellent. To date, what would you say is your biggest high or your greatest win?
I would go back to say Celebrate Toronto. It's a greatest high, greatest win because, I mean, keep in mind, when I first started, it was a little event inside Steam with Soul with only so many people, and it was a one-night thing for a couple hours. And then fast forward 5 years later, I'm at Nathan Phillips Square. I have 25,000 people showing up.
Wow. Full
programming for 2 full days. I mean, there's a lot that goes on there now. And to think that I did this. And so every year I go, so on top of Nathan Phillips Square, I mean, there's an area that you can kind of look down at Nathan Phillips Square, like you're kind of up. So every year it's just tradition. I go up as high as I can get up and stand there for 5 minutes. It sounds cheesy.
No, take it all in.
I take it all in and I just breathe and think, I did this. Like, holy crap. And all these people are here because they see the value and, inspiration that this one girl in Toronto had, me, like just thinking this would be fun, and everybody sees it too. It was like a love movement, and it feels amazing to see everybody love it too. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. It's a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah. And it's not about me. It's about like the festival itself, and that this is a thing, and look how big it got. So to me, that's my highest point, is every year, usually around March 6th or 7th, whenever it kind of falls, just standing up there and looking down, and I take a photo of what it's like. And then every year I compare that photo, and it's so cool to see like where it was and like how
where it is. Yeah. That's very cool.
Bigger and bigger. Yeah.
What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
I guess jack of all trades. I owe a lot to OCAD because I studied everything I could learn there. I went to summer school. Even when I was there, I couldn't stop picking up different programs because I wanted to learn it all. Mm-hmm. So I learned how to do web design, and I learned how to do photography. I learned how to do so many things that I use in my everyday to create Celebrate Toronto. I from start to completion. If I'm getting my sponsors or my volunteers or running competitions or developing graphics and doing my marketing, everything I've learned on my own. If it wasn't through OCAD, if I didn't learn it from there, I would buy books, read everything on the topics, suck it all in, and produce.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can you share a situation that's occurred in your life that you feel provides insight as to your character, who Micayla is?
I could. It's personal, but I could. It's I guess dating. I think everybody's had these experiences where you date somebody that themselves aren't a colorful character, and you stay in situations that aren't good for you. And you do that because you think things are going to be okay in the end, and they never are. It's murky waters, not colorful, beautiful paintings. Yeah. And I think it's having the strength to walk away from, I guess, toxic situations and saying, it doesn't serve me, and it's okay. Like, not to be scared to leave a bad situation, no matter what the cost may be, is just to kind of up and pivot yourself towards something that is brighter. Like, a lot of find kind of, and it's not just relationships. I'm using that as my example, but even if it's a job or kind of dead end or not serving well, or there's just something,
having the courage to make the change.
You said it on the button, just having that, being able to walk away from things that aren't right and not, because it was a hard thing at first because you don't want to hurt anybody and you don't want to, I don't know, you hurt yourself, but you have to be able to say, this isn't right for me. And there's things that are a better fit, if it's job.
Yeah, for sure.
It's this or that. So just kind of.
Mm-hmm. What would you say is one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received?
You will only regret by not doing it.
I love it.
And like if you don't, like anything, like, oh, I want to go on this vacation. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I should, if it's not the right time. It's like, well, what regret would you have? Like, regret not going, like what do you have to lose type thing. So, and
just
always
do it.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah. Nike, just.
That's right. Well, we only live once, right? You get one shot at this. So you might as well do everything you want and everything you possibly can.
Yeah, exactly that. And it sounds very cliche, but it's true. And I don't think people understand that, is that,
life is short.
Time. Yeah.
What makes you feel inspired or like your best self?
That's a good question. Inspired or like my best self? I'm looking down at my coffee like this is the greatest moment of my life right now. I don't know. That's a good question. I have to come back to that one.
Okay. What was one of the most important things you've learned in your life, and what was your life like before learning it, and what was your life like after learning it?
The most important thing I've learned in my life. I'll go back to what I was kind of saying before, that everything will be okay in the end. And if not, then it's not the end. Troubling times will pass. People who hurt you, you will move on from. Happiness comes from within, like you can't, to say it eloquently, you can't sit in shit.
I love it.
Basically.
Well said. Who have been 3 of the most influential people in your life?
I have 4. I have I know. It's my mom, my dad, and my siblings. They're my family's my life. And I look at them for everything. Like my mom for, raising me to see life through every colorful lens. My dad for, teaching me practical things in life, and he's an inspiration on his own. He, like, just a year ago, he had a heart attack.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay, because he, as my dad is, he's the strongest person in the world. Like
there we go.
He's currently walking 2 kilometers a day, like
awesome,
moving. And it's like, this is amazing. Like
that is incredible.
Yeah. It's that perseverance of never giving up no matter what, Yeah.
What is one of your biggest failures, and what did you learn from it?
I can say my biggest failure. Well, I'll go to Celebrate Toronto, because those are I'm most emotional about Celebrate Toronto, because it's my baby. But there are times where one year I had to close Celebrate Toronto down early because of high winds. There was like 80-kilometer winds. Tents were blowing everywhere. It was a day of reckoning, and I had to close the festival down early because I didn't want anybody to get hurt. I was scared of little kids, something blowing in their faces. Like, I was just, close this thing down. I don't care what the repercussions are. And there were repercussions. A lot of vendors were very upset, saying, and it's like, well, I can't control the weather.
Exactly.
There's nothing that I can personally do about that. But you don't think that way. You internalize. It's like, I don't want to let anybody down. I have like thousands of people here and hundreds of people involved in being here. And I have to take all of the grunt for it because God wants to blow 80-kilometer winds today for no reason. So, I mean, there's things that are out of your control, but that you are still have to control somehow. Like, it's tough to make those big decisions when so many people are involved in something that you don't want to let down. But I mean, you have to keep going. So now,
for sure,
I learned to put something in place of, God forbid there's these winds again. This is what happened. Everybody knows about this ahead of time. Like, you have to kind of learn from these things that are out of your control and a way to somehow control them. So, yeah.
All right. What do you think is the most common reason for people failing or giving up?
They don't persevere. I mean, people think that the road ahead is too difficult. Maybe that 9-to-5 job is easier than taking a dive into the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to think, if somebody is giving up, then maybe they never really wanted to walk down that path in the first place,
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I think fear plays into that too, right?
You take that out of, I was literally going to say that. I mean, if you're walking down a path and it's a bit too dark or creepy down there, you're going to say, I don't have the right tools to lead through this, but it's kind of, people need to learn. I mean, maybe how to step out of a comfort zone.
For sure.
I mean, at the same time, you have to make sure that you're in the right position and you do have the right tools behind you. You don't walk down a random path maybe without a flashlight. Make sure you have tools to get you through to that other side. But a lot of people feel comfortable just being in a 9-to-5. And if that makes you happy, then maybe so be it. But I mean, if people are ready to take that leap, then take the leap. That's the biggest piece of advice. Just go for it. You have nothing to lose. The only, again, like I said before, like my one piece of advice, like the only regret you're going to have is not trying.
Yes.
You just have to try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But
that's right. Try something else. Pivot and try something else.
Yeah, and there's people out there that would help, mentor. Like, I'm happy to. I've mentored a few people trying to start their own businesses and whatnot. And there's today because you help give people that advice or that push that they need, and
Yeah, for sure.
What people need to hear is that everything's going to be okay, and just go for it.
That's right. What is your personal motto?
Try everything twice.
I love it.
Everything. It even goes with eating sushi. If you eat sushi and it tastes like crap, try it again another time because maybe you had a bad piece of fish. You never know. But try everything twice.
Okay.
All the time. Because, I mean, you can't make a judgment on one thing the one time you had it because it could have just, even people, maybe somebody had a bad day. You're not going to judge that person because you had a bad interaction one time.
Right.
Everything deserves a second chance, including.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very wise words. If you were writing your autobiography, what would the title be?
There wouldn't be a title. It would just be an asterisk. And yeah. And
now we're delving into Prince world.
No, because the entire book would just be footnotes. It would literally just be a book of footnotes. That's the entire book. Yeah.
What gives you the motivation to keep going?
Strong coffee. A dark room. Yeah.
All right. We'll go with that. What does the word empowerment mean to you?
It means having a voice and an opinion that people will listen to and value. People knowing that you have integrity, and I think integrity is everything. So that's
okay.
Yeah.
How do you define success? What does that word mean to you?
A lot of people would define sex.
Sex.
I need more coffee. Success as, a lot of money or, materialistic items. Success is sleeping at night. Being able to be well rested, loving the person that you live with, having complete harmony, and maybe a really good wine at the end of the day.
There you go. All right, that works. What is the most recent investment you've made into yourself?
New books. I bought new books a few weeks ago, and they arrived, and I started reading them, and I'm very excited.
Awesome.
Nonprofits, because I'm nerding out during my holidays. So yeah, I bought 2 new books about managing nonprofit organizations.
Very cool. Well, hey, that's your jam. That's your thing.
Brushing things up a bit. Yeah.
Excellent. What's the first thing you think when I say the word future?
I would say flying cars. Future. I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, when I think about the future, I just think about what I'm going to be doing hopefully soon, and that's going to be traveling if COVID ever goes away.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that's the one thing I miss.
Yeah, for sure.
COVID's been a bitch for everybody, really,
Yeah.
but it is also a time to kind of, that people have to kind of maybe reflect and,
For sure.
you know, save your money and learn new skills, and you're homebound, so you might as well, I don't know, brush up on new things. That's all I've been doing. It's all.
Well, you're making good use of the time. That's good.
Yeah, otherwise you're just going to go crazy. So, yeah, future,
Okay.
hopefully travel.
All right. If you could teach the world one thing, what would that be?
Compassion, I think. Sounds cheesy, but if everybody was just, I don't know, kind.
Yeah, no, it's not cheesy at all. I think we need that right now.
Yeah. Especially kind of what's going on in the States. Everybody's just really divided, but I mean, you have to kind of hope that people need to understand that everything needs to come together for like the common good. And I think
Kindness is such a simple concept, yet we humans can't fucking wrap our heads around it. I don't get it
at all. I know.
It's mind-boggling because it doesn't cost you anything, so there's no worry about losing money, which is of course a big motivator, but there's no other, I mean, I don't know, I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither, but I mean, just hopefully people find it, I don't know, within themselves, just to exactly that, be more compassionate of others. And I mean, we've come a long way. I mean, a long way. I mean, there is a lot of great things that are going on in the world, and a lot of
for sure
things that have been created and whatnot. I think we just got to keep going, and for people to, come together.
I think if we individually do our part to be kind, then hopefully that has a trickle or domino effect, and it spills out into the people we surround ourselves with, and so on and so on.
Yeah, exactly. And it also is, the new generation. And I think the new generation is going to be a great generation, 10, 15 years down the line, when they're going to start running for being politicians and whatnot. I think a lot of things will happen because they're learning how not to be bullies or anything in school. There's a lot of great things that are happening, and,
For sure.
Yeah.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
I think most creatives are night owls.
Because that's when the world is asleep and your mind can be awake.
That's right. And free. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Money or fame?
Like neither, really. like definitely not fame. I'm, again, as most artists, I think I'm a bit more of an introvert.
Yes, for sure. Us artists are definitely introverts for the most part anyway.
For the most part, when I have to, I guess, turn it on to be a people person, I can be extroverted, but I'd much rather not be.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear that.
I'm generally a quiet to myself type of person.
Yeah, for sure.
A lucky day to myself is sitting in my studio painting alone with like earphones in, listening to music. Like
that's the ultimate day, right?
Yeah. So, and the money part, I mean, maybe it sounds crazy, but money doesn't motivate me. People motivate me, and culture motivates me. The arts motivate me. I would never want to live in like a gigantic mansion with fancy cars. Like none of that appeals to me whatsoever. Traveling the world appeals to me, having enough money to, have things that I need and,
experiences over monetary.
Exactly that. So, yeah.
What is one of your favorite entrepreneurial books?
I read it like 3 times, and I'll read it again because I always get something out of it. The 5-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss.
Okay.
It's such an easy, quick, fun read, and it gives a lot of the kind of, for me anyway, it would open up my mind to, oh yeah, I can be doing this, or oh yeah, like that's a good way to automate, and it just kind of gives you good ideas on
food for thought, right?
Food for thought. So yeah, good book.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Maybe I mean, I was never really one that cared what other people think, but definitely just to never give a shit what anybody thinks. Like just iterate that to myself of like, nothing matters except for what it is that you want to do, and just keep going. And again, I was lucky to live in a household and be surrounded by friends that were just as quirky and as I may have been. And just to kind of always have that in your mind.
And lastly, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like?
It would be very motivational. It would be, live like there's no tomorrow. Take chances, big chances. If it scares you, it'll change you. And, the only regret you'll have is not doing what it is that you want to do,
Yeah.
And you have nothing to lose but time. And, time is your most valuable thing. It isn't money. It isn't that friggin' new pair of shoes you bought or whatever makeup you're wearing. I don't know, whatever people care about, but it's your time, and it's the people around you. It's your family. It's your loved ones. And I mean, people need to be, I think, more grounded and gracious for the little things in life.
For sure. Time is definitely the most valuable commodity in the world. 100%.
Yeah. And never waste it on anything or anyone that doesn't serve you. If it's a
That's
job,
right.
then leave it. If it's a partner that is just batshit crazy, run away from them.
Run the other way as fast as you can.
Don't look back. Run away from them.
For sure.
Yeah. And don't sweat the small stuff. Learn to let go of what doesn't please you, what doesn't serve you, and take the leap into something that you want to do. And create something.
Amazing. Micayla, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with me today and be part of the Empowerography community and share a bit about your story and your journey and what you're doing in the world to do your part to give back and help. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all that you're doing, and I appreciate you taking the time being here.
Thank you, Brad. And thank you for creating this amazing podcast and giving people a voice and to be heard and for others to listen in and to have that inspiration. You're creating a great platform.
Well, thank you very much. It's all in, I mean, I'm honored that all of you women want to be part of this platform and share your stories, because together as a community, we're putting it out there to help others. So I have you and all of the other guests to thank for being part of it and sharing your stories, because without you, this doesn't exist. So thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest has been Micayla Doria. She is the CEO and founder of Celebrate Toronto. Thank you so much, Micayla. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day.
You too, Brad.
Thank you. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.